There is a move that flips the whole game. Stop wrestling inside the old frame and change the frame with one decisive shift. When you pivot, you switch the rules people use to judge you. You move from arguing to proving, from asking to demonstrating, from defending your position to choosing a new position where your strengths hit first. A pivot starts with clarity. Ask one fast question. What are people actually judging right now? Talk, titles, feelings, or outcomes? If the room is judging talk, stop talking and show a working step. If the room is judging titles, ignore the badges and present the number that matters. If the room is judging feelings, bring calm facts with dates. The goal is to move attention to a metric you can move today. Machiavelli puts the standard in hard terms. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, because it belongs to everybody to see you, to few to come in touch with you. So give them something they can see, proof, before you explain the rest. Show the effect. Keep the recipe. A clean pivot has 4 short steps. 1. Pause the noise. No more threads, long calls, or back and forth. 2. Pick one leverage metric that settles doubt. A delivered demo, a before-after chart, a signed date, a paid pilot. 3. Cut what isn't working in one pass. 4. Present the new path with receipts and a next checkpoint. Simple beats clever. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I pivot from talk to proof. Use triggers to spot the right moment. If your effort isn't moving the needle, if the rules keep shifting, if a critic is pulling you into endless debate, or if your best options sit outside the current setup, it's time to pivot. Don't wait for approval. Build the first visible step and let that step do the talking. People believe what they can see. The heart of the pivot is mode switching. You scout like a fox and you execute like a lion. Machiavelli draws the image that still works today. It is necessary to be a fox to discover the snares and a lion to terrify the wolves. You use the fox to test quietly, find the trap, and map the path. You use the lion to act, claim the slot, and lock the result. The strength is the switch, not one mode forever. Here is a simple way to run the switch. Fox mode. Small test, low promise, fast learn. You ask lean questions, try a tiny version, measure once. Lion mode. Short message, strong move, clear date. You ship the piece, post the receipt, and set the next checkpoint. If you roar before you scout, you get tangled. If you scout forever and never roar, you stall. The pivot is the moment you stop scouting and start moving. Frame your pivot around results, not emotions. Instead of, I think this will work, say, version 1 is live for 10 users. We'll review day 7 retention on the 15th. Instead of, trust me, say, we cut response time by 18%, rolling the same fix to the next flow this week. Short lines with numbers reset the room. They also calm you, because a number is easier to defend than a theory. Set up a one-page pivot plan. Line 1, the old metric that didn't move. Line 2, the new metric you can move in 7 days. Line 3, the first action that produces a visible change. Line 4, the date you'll show proof. Tape it to your screen. If a message pulls you off plan, look at the page and return to the line with the date. Decide what you will stop. A pivot is not adding more. It's trading. Trade one old promise for one new proof. Cancel one meeting for one build block. Drop one feature for one deliverable. Subtraction creates the space that makes a pivot possible. Machiavelli offers a sharp method for the cut part of a pivot. For injuries ought to be done all at one time. Benefits ought to be given little by little. In modern work, end the wrong path in a single pass, reset scope, end access, close the loop, then deliver value in steady steps on the new path. Many small stings make enemies. One clean change makes room to heal. Your first public move should be small and undeniable. A shipped feature that someone can click. A before-after screen. A signed mini-pilot. People can fight opinions. They rarely fight receipts. Once you plant a receipt, the debate shrinks and the next door opens. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Proof leads. Debates follow. Keep your body language slower than your message. Speak in short sentences. Breathe. Do not oversell. Do not apologize for changing direction. You aren't spinning a story. You're showing a step. Calm tone plus clear proof is the strongest signal you can send. Protect the pivot from old gravity. Old gravity is friends who want the backstory, critics who want another round, and systems that want the old schedule. Shrink your audience for 7 days. One truth teller, one operator, one decision maker. Everyone else hears after the first checkpoint. You're not hiding, you're building. Set your calendar like a builder. 2 fixed daily blocks without messages. A 24-hour rule on announcements. No posting in the heat of the moment. Ship first. Sleep. Then share. 1 weekly snapshot with one number that moved and one date ahead. This rhythm makes your pivot visible without exposing your full map. Choose a leverage metric that stops noise. Speed, cost, conversion, quality, or satisfaction. Pick one. Make it move in a way that matters to people with power. If you don't know which one they care about, ask a small question. Which change would you call a win by Friday? Then build only that. Machiavelli's lens on judgment helps you pick the right proof. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. And in the actions of all men, one judges by the result. Aim your pivot at a result that is easy to see. Load time, shipped version, closed ticket, paid invoice. That is how you change minds without arguing. Protect leverage while you turn. If one gatekeeper controls your path, build a second route during the pivot, a different supplier, a small direct channel, a backup tool. Machiavelli warns what happens when your wins depend on others. From this, a general rule is drawn, that he who is the cause of another becoming powerful is ruined. Translate it to your move. Don't let one platform or partner own the success of your pivot. Keep one lever in your hands. Use scripts that turn pressure into clarity. When someone demands the full blueprint, offer a mini trial. 1 week pilot, metric X, target Y, review Friday. When someone pushes for faster than today, reply, I can ship fast or ship right. Pick one. When someone wants everything at once, cut scope. I can do A by Friday or A plus B next Wednesday. Choose. Scripts keep you from sliding back into the old frame. Make the new frame easy to repeat. Give your pivot a name and a counter. Fast 15. Cut response time by 15%. Names create focus. Counters create momentum. After the first proof, repeat the name with the new number. People love trajectories. A pivot with a trajectory feels like a plan, not a panic. Keep your receipts clean. Screenshots with timestamps. Short clips of the product working. A single slide with before, after, and a next checkpoint. If someone wants more, they can ask. Start with the one image that tells the story at a glance. Remember the rule. They judge by sight first. Guard your energy. A pivot without rest looks frantic. Sleep the night you ship. Eat before you present. Walk 10 minutes before a tough call. The move is not just technical, it's social. Calm bodies carry clear messages. Use a 777 loop to lock the change. Day 17, one visible win. Day 814, one repeat of that win to prove it wasn't luck. Day 1521, one improvement on the same metric. After 3 sevens, you have a pattern. Patterns are harder to argue with than single events. If the room refuses the new frame, do not beg. Take the same proof to a room that values it. The fastest way to win a debate is to stop having it and ship the result where it can grow. You don't need everyone to agree with your move. You need the right few to see it and support it. Be careful with praise. It can freeze you at step 1. When praise arrives, say thanks and attach a next date. Appreciate it. Next check-in is Thursday with the 20% target. Praise turns useful when it fuels the next proof, not when it becomes a place to stand and talk. If you slip, overshare, miss a date, pick the wrong metric, correct fast. Reset scope in one pass, choose a smaller proof, and send a short note with the new checkpoint. Corrections beat apologies because they change the outcome. A pivot is a series of useful corrections pointed at one clear win. Keep a private log for your head. Each evening, what moved, what stalled, what I'll stop tomorrow. The stop line is where your power hides. Each stop turns into time for the next proof. Time is the currency of a pivot. When the proof lands, keep moving. Don't argue about credit or rewrite the past. Plant the receipt, set the next date, and go back to the work. People remember your direction more than your defense. Direction is built by proof on a schedule. The one move that changes everything is not magic. It's a method. You switch the frame to results, you switch modes from fox to lion, you cut once, you show proof, and you keep the wheel in your hands. Do that and rooms that used to drain you will start to cooperate. Not because you talked them into it, but because you showed them something real. A pivot is not a speech. It is a sequence. You change the frame, and then you protect it. The goal now is to make your shift obvious in sight and hard to reverse in practice. Keep your words short. Make your steps visible. Tie every step to a number and a date. When people see steady proof, the room adjusts to your new lane without you begging for belief. Lock your first 5 days. Day 1, cut what is not working in one pass. Day 2, ship the smallest working piece on the new path. Day 3, collect the first number. Day 4, remove one more drag, meeting, feature, or partner that slows the change. Day 5, present a 3-line snapshot. The result, the effect, the next date. Then repeat. The pivot becomes real when it shows up on a schedule. Aim your proof where eyes already look. If your boss, client, or audience stares at speed, move speed. If they care about cost, move cost. If they watch quality, move a defect rate. Pick one lever that matters to them and push it with a change they can see. That is how you turn a pivot from your idea into their reality. Use calm language that sets the new frame. Version 1 is live. Day 7 review on the 15th. Response time cut 12%. Rolling update to the next flow Wednesday. 1 week pilot signed. Target is 10 paid users by Friday. These lines end debates. Short lines with numbers reduce friction and raise trust. Trust is the oil that lets a pivot run. Keep your private map simple. One sheet holds the whole shift. What stops? What starts? Who owns what? Which metric moves first? And the date of the next proof. You are not hiding. You are sequencing. People get the slice they need to move their piece. The full map stays with you until it is safe to share more. Expect noise from the old frame. Old allies will want the backstory. Critics will want another round. Systems will try to pull you to the old timing. Do not get stuck there. Shrink your audience for 2 weeks. One truth teller for blind spots. One operator for hands. One decision maker for doors. Tell everyone else after the next checkpoint. Focus is fuel. Keep the fox to lion switch alive. You scout quietly, then you act quickly. Too much scouting looks like fear. Too much roaring looks like chaos. The power is the handover. The scouting finds the trap and the path. The move locks the result before the path gets crowded. You will feel the right moment. The test is real. The risk is known. The next door is ready. Switch there. Guide the room with receipts, not essays. Build a small evidence kit for your pivot. Screenshots with timestamps, a one slide before-after, a 30-second clip of the feature working, a paid invoice, a calendar invite for the next review. Put these in one folder. When someone asks for context, send one image, not a thread. People remember images. They forget long messages. As you steer, bring in a second idea that makes the pivot stronger. Designed for luck. Sometimes good timing helps you. Sometimes it hits you. Machiavelli writes, "Fortune is the arbiter of one half of our actions, but that she still leaves us to direct the other half." Treat that as a building rule. Control the half you can. Your cadence, your backups, your test windows, your cache buffer. Leave the rest to chance without fear. Turn that line into structure. Keep a short cache floor so a sudden delay doesn't wreck your move. Keep a second supplier so a single failure doesn't stop you. Keep a direct channel to your users so an algorithm shift can't bury your proof. Luck swings. Your systems hold the line. Your pivot should survive a bad week because you built margin for it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the controllable. Cadence beats chaos. Pick models for the new lane and copy on purpose. You do not need to invent every step. Borrow the shape of what works, then make it yours. Machiavelli writes it plainly. A wise man ought always to follow the paths beaten by great men and to imitate those who have been supreme, so that if his ability does not equal theirs, at least it will savor of it. Choose one high-signal example, copy the structure, not the branding, and ship your version fast. Use the Archer rule from the same passage. Aim higher than your target so the shot lands where you want. If you need a 10% lift, design a 15% plan. The extra aim covers friction you cannot see yet. You are not promising 15% to the room. You are building for it so you hit the 10% under real pressure. Decide what you will not trade as you turn. 3 non-negotiables protect the new path. Your process, your schedule, your direct line to users or buyers. If a deal asks for the engine, the whole calendar, or your list, the answer is no. Offer a smaller option. Keep your core. The pivot dies when you give away the thing that makes it possible. Set clean scripts for the hard moments. When someone demands the blueprint, I don't share process. I share results. Pilot X, metric Y, review Friday. When someone tries to move your date by force, we can do fast or right, choose one. When someone pushes scope without pay, current scope ships on time. New items go in a separate block with a price. Short, steady, and repeatable. Don't chase love during a pivot. You want respect. Respect comes from boundaries and proof. Machiavelli's line holds, "It is much safer to be feared than loved if one must choose." Read feared today as respected for clear lines. You are not harsh. You are exact. Exact people get room to work. Guard against the old dependency that kills pivots. If one partner or platform owns your oxygen, you haven't changed frames. You changed rooms. Keep one lever that is only yours. Your method, your data, your direct audience. The Florentine gives the warning. He who is the cause of another becoming powerful is ruined. In modern terms, don't let your pivot rely on someone else's engine. Use partners, but keep control. Choose a public rhythm that builds belief without giving away your map. Post a short update every 2 weeks with one number that moved and one date ahead. No teasers. No big news soon. Teasers invite pressure. Snapshots create trust. Trust brings air cover. Air cover gives your pivot time to mature. When praise arrives, convert it into motion. Appreciate it. Next checkpoint is Thursday with the 20% target. When pushback arrives, convert it into a test. Let's run a 1-week A/B metric X decides. Praise and pushback are both noise unless they feed your cadence. Your job is to feed the cadence. Use a 2-column board to manage the turn. Column A, old frame pulls. List meetings, habits, and contacts that drag you backward. Column B, new frame moves. List steps that push the metric. Each morning, kill one item from A and complete one item from B. It is brutal and simple. Brutal and simple wins when the room is busy. Train your face and your voice for the pivot window. Slow your breathing before you talk. Keep sentences short. Let silence sit for 2 seconds after a hard question. The pause reads as control. Control reads as competence. Competence keeps doors open long enough for your proof to land. Add a small safeguard for the days your energy dips. Write a 3-line if-tired plan. One small action that still moves the metric. One tiny proof you can post in 10 minutes. One script you'll use to decline anything that pulls you off task. Do the tiny thing, post the tiny proof, say the script, log off. Momentum survives. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Small proof today, bigger proof next week. Keep your own scoreboard. Each Friday, write 6 lines. What shipped? The effect. What stalled? Why it stalled. What you'll stop. What you'll measure next. The stop line is where power hides. Cutting one drain creates time for one leap. Most pivots fail because people add. Clean pivots win because people subtract. Use asymmetric updates to reduce talk. Upward. One result, one risk. One date. Sideways. The handoff and the owner. Downward. The exact task that unlocks the next metric. This keeps everyone aligned without exposing your engine or your full plan too soon. If a critic tries to pull you back into the old frame with a long thread, reply with a receipt and a checkpoint. Here's the before-after. Next review on the 22nd. Then exit the thread. People who want movement will show up on the 22nd. People who wanted a fight will wander away. When a door stays shut, even after proof, don't waste weeks trying to pry it open. Take the same proof to a different door. A pivot is a market test on your method and on your allies. Work with the rooms that reward proof. Leave the rooms that reward noise. If you miss a date, correct in public with a new, smaller checkpoint inside 72 hours. Miss Tuesday. Shipping a reduced slice Thursday. Full target moves to Monday. Corrections beat excuses because they change the calendar. Changing the calendar keeps trust from breaking. Keep a short second path list so your pivot doesn't hinge on one tool or one deal. One backup scheduler, one backup channel, one backup supplier. If a piece fails, you swap fast without pausing the cadence. Your rhythm is your brand now. When people start to copy your move, do not argue. Change shape. Switch the order of features, pull a date forward, or raise the quality bar. The first mover wins attention. The faster learner keeps it. Learn faster by keeping your tests small and your loop tight. Hold one line at the end of every week. What will make the next 2 weeks obvious at a glance? Name that thing. Build that thing. It might be a simple dashboard, a clear before-after clip, a number in a corner of the screen. Obvious wins spread. Obvious wins are easy for others to explain, which is how your pivot grows without you pushing. Use the right quotes to anchor your mindset. On luck and control, fortune is the arbiter of one half of our actions, but that she still leaves us to direct the other half. On learning by models, A wise man ought always to follow the paths beaten by great men, and to imitate those who have been supreme. On public judgment, men judge more by their eyes than by their hands, and one judges by the result. These lines are not decoration. They are your checklist before you act. Keep the crown on the work, not on your head. The crown is your cadence, your receipts, and your control of the levers that matter. Wear it by doing the next exact thing. Ship, measure, adjust, repeat. That rhythm turns one decision into a new direction that sticks. Your pivot is alive now. The next step is to make it stick in real rooms with real pressure. That means 3 things. Build a rhythm people can see, take sides when it matters, and train like your craft is a discipline, not a vibe. Do this, and the room starts to move with you, instead of against you. First, lock belief with cadence, not speeches. People change their minds fast and change them back just as fast. So you don't argue them into trust. You keep them there with steady proof. Machiavelli points to this human swing. People are by nature changeable. It is easy to persuade them, but difficult to keep them in that persuasion. That's your cue to show results on a schedule, a weekly number, a working clip, a paid pilot. So belief can't evaporate between updates. Turn that line into a simple loop. Win, repeat, improve. Win. One small proof. Repeat, or show it wasn't luck. Improve, make it a little better. 3 steps, 1 metric, 2 weeks. When belief wobbles, point to the loop and keep going. The loop is your anchor when attention drifts. Shape the room by choosing where you stand. Neutrality looks safe. It often costs you. When stakes rise, indecision makes you small. Machiavelli's rule maps this cleanly. A prince is also respected when he is either a true friend or a downright enemy. This will always be more advantageous than standing neutral. In modern work, that means pick the lane your pivot needs, speed or scope, quality or volume, build or sell, and say it out loud. Clarity gets you allies. Fog gets you pressure. If 2 priorities fight, choose one and design a tiny trial that proves why. We're optimizing for response time first. 1-week test, target 15% faster. Once the test wins, the room sees why the choice was right. You didn't argue, you measured. Type this in the comments. Clear lane, clear dates, clear results. Next, keep your name safe while you change direction. A pivot needs air cover, not enemies. Machiavelli's shield still works. The best possible fortress is not to be hated by the people, for even if you have fortresses, they will not save you if the people hate you. Read it as, act fair, keep promises small and on time, and don't use drama to defend your move. If you stay steady and respectful, most people will let you work. Do small things that build this shield. Confirm handoffs, credit helpers by name, answer with facts, not heat, and keep your updates short. The goal is not to be liked by everyone. It's to remove reasons for people to make your life harder. A calm record is armor. Now, train like a soldier, but build like a craftsperson. A pivot fails when it's casual. It sticks when it feels like practice. Machiavelli's study rule fits the moment. A prince ought to have no other aim or thought, nor select anything else for his study than war and its rules and discipline. Translate it cleanly. Study your craft and its drills every day. 2 blocks for practice, 1 block for review, 1 block for shipping. If you treat the work like training, your speed and accuracy rise together. Build a tiny drill sheet for the new lane. 10 minutes of metric review. 10 minutes of tool speed drills. 10 minutes of note cleanup. Then the real work. Drills make the hard parts automatic, so your energy goes to judgment, not to fumbling. Guard your map while you ship proof. Show outcomes. Keep recipes. If someone pushes for the blueprint, offer a 1-week pilot with 1 metric and a review date. People who plan to support will accept the pilot. People who plan to control will demand the keys. The pilot makes intentions visible. Your language should stay exact and short. Version A live. Day 7 review on the 18th. Defect rate down 11%. Rolling fix to check out tomorrow. 10 paid trials signed. Churn review next Friday. Numbers beat adjectives. Dates beat soon. Screenshots beat threads. Type this line in the comments. Numbers on the board. Date on the calendar. Expect both praise and pushback. Convert praise into motion. Appreciate it. Next checkpoint Thursday. Convert pushback into a test. Let's run a 1-week A/B. Metric X decides. Praise without motion freezes you. Pushback without tests traps you. Motion and tests keep the pivot moving. As you move, choose allies who match the new pace. Give a tiny task with a date. If they deliver cleanly, give them more. If they stall or demand your entire roadmap first, keep them outside the engine. You need doers and truth tellers, not spectators and storytellers. Protect your time from urgent for them, random for you. 2 daily build blocks stay non-negotiable. If someone with status pings inside those blocks, offer the next open window and the 1-line agenda. Routines look boring. They are how you outrun chaos. Use 2 dashboards, 1 public, 1 private. Public shows the 1 metric that proves the pivot is working, with a next date. Private holds the full map, risks, backups, and second paths. Share the public one often. Share the private one rarely. You're not hiding, you're sequencing. When the room still doubts, widen the proof, not the speech. Add 1 more slice of results that touches the metric they care about: speed, cost, quality, or revenue. If leaders watch cost, ship a small saving with a timestamp. If they watch speed, ship a faster load with before, after. Show the thing they track. If someone demands neutrality while your move needs a side, bring Machiavelli's line again. Respect comes from declaring yourself, not from floating. We're taking the speed side for 2 weeks. Here's the target and review date. Picking a side feels risky. Drifting is riskier. A declared lane lets people help or step aside. Keep your second path ready. 1 backup supplier, 1 backup channel, 1 backup tool. A pivot dies when 1 gatekeeper controls oxygen. Balance is boring. It keeps you free. You don't need 10 backups. You need 1 that works. Build a tiny momentum kit for bad days. 1 small action that still moves the metric. 1 tiny proof you can create in 15 minutes. 1 message that resets a boundary. Do the action. Post the proof. Send the message. Momentum returns. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Use your own scoreboard every Friday. 6 lines. What shipped, what moved, what didn't, why it didn't, what you'll stop, what you'll measure next. The stop line is fuel. Most pivots fail from too much yes. A clean no opens space for a real win. If a door stays shut even after proof, do not stall there. Take the same receipt to a door that rewards outcomes. Rooms have different rules. Find the room where your proof buys you time. Your move is to relocate the debate from talk to results and from bad rooms to better ones. Don't fight copycats. Move first, then move again. Change order, tighten scope, raise quality, pull a date forward. The first mover gets buzz. The faster learner keeps it. Learning speed is your quiet edge. As your proof stacks up, protect your tone. No victory laps, no subtweets, no hints at rivals. Share the receipt, thank helpers, set the next date, and build. Power comes from rhythm, not noise. Return once more to posture. The best fortress is still a clean reputation. Fair with people, firm on standards, steady on dates. Many try to look strong with walls and secrets. The stronger play is simple. Keep your words small, your work on time, and your updates real. That's the shield that lets a pivot mature in public. Add one more lens from the same mind to keep you brave. When you pick a side and act, you are respected more than when you hover. The room may not love your choice, but it will understand it. That understanding is enough to give your move room to grow. Anchor your week with 2 questions and 1 step. Questions. What is the one proof they can't ignore by next Friday? What is one thing I will stop to make space for it? Step. Put the date on the calendar and tell one person who can hold you to it. Then build in peace. The pivot wins when your calendar looks like a builder's, your language looks like a clock, and your updates look like receipts. Keep the frame on results. Keep the side you chose. Keep your drills tight. The room learns faster than you think. Proof changes minds. Cadence keeps them changed. You've built the pivot, proved it, and held your lane under pressure. Now turn it into a durable way of working that survives noise, people shifts, and time. Think in 3 layers. Your posture, how you look under stress. Your circle, who can speak truth and when. And your engine, what you own that nobody can take. Start with posture. People watch your steadiness more than your speeches. Keep your tone calm, your sentences short, and your dates exact. Don't zigzag. Machiavelli warned that looking changeable or weak invites contempt. It makes him contemptible to be considered fickle, frivolous, effeminate, mean-spirited, irresolute. He should endeavor to show in his actions greatness, courage, gravity, and fortitude, and make his decisions feel firm. Let the room see a steady hand. Design a weekly rhythm that keeps you steady on busy weeks and bad ones. Use a 2-block build window each day with no messages. End each week with a 6-line scoreboard. What shipped, what moved, what stalled, why it stalled, what you'll stop, what you'll measure next. The stop line is where power hides. Cutting drains creates space for the next win. Keep your name clean while you scale the change. Give credit by name, close loops quickly, and keep receipts ready. If a rumor starts, don't chase it around the room. Post the proof and the next date. People remember outcomes long after they forget threads. Drop this in the comments. Calm posture, firm dates, real proof. Now build the circle that protects you from praise traps. Flattery feels good and blinds you. Truth stings and saves you. Machiavelli gave a precise guardrail. There is no other way of guarding oneself from flatterers except letting men understand that to tell you the truth does not offend you. But he adds a limit. If everyone can speak truth all the time, respect falls. So choose a small set of wise people. Let them speak frankly when you ask, and then decide. That mix keeps you honest without losing authority. Turn this into a 20-minute ritual. Once a week, ask your 2 truth tellers one question. What am I not seeing? Listen without defense. Pick the top point, fix it within 7 days, and close the loop. Reward the courage. You are training your circle to bring signal, not smoke. Protect the engine of the pivot. Your change stays safe when the core is yours. Machiavelli's warning on borrowed force is blunt. Mercenaries and auxiliaries are useless and dangerous. And if one holds his state based on these arms, he will stand neither firm nor safe. In modern terms, do not let a single platform, vendor, or partner own your oxygen. Use help, but keep the keys. Your method, your direct list, your data, your admin access. Map your work into 2 boxes. Box 1. Core, differentiating, sensitive, keep inside. Box 2. Support, generic, replaceable, outsource with limits. For Box 2, use short trials, tight scopes, and staged access. If the trial wins, renew. If it fails, unplug cleanly. The goal is capacity, not dependency. Build a second path list so one shock doesn't break you. A backup supplier, a backup channel, a backup tool. Test one backup each month. Boring insurance beats urgent rescue. Drop this line in the comments. Own the engine. Rent the help. As your proof grows, your visibility grows too. Popularity tempts you to drift into performance. Resist. Show the receipt, thank people, set the next date, and return to work. Clarity beats charisma when stakes are high. If someone drags you toward gossip or victory laps, answer with one number and one checkpoint. Keep your requests small and exact so allies can move fast. One intro, one date, one yes/no decision. Big fuzzy asks stall your momentum and make you look unprepared. When a powerful person praises your move, convert praise into motion. Appreciate it. Review on Thursday with the 20% target. Praise turns useful when it fuels the next proof. Scale your pivot with simple playbooks. After each win, write one page. What changed? How you measured it, the checklist to repeat it, and the risk to watch. Store playbooks in one place. When teammates join, hand them a playbook and a small target. Playbooks turn your change into a system others can run without you narrating every step. Keep your face and voice trained. Before hard rooms, breathe, slow down, and leave 2 seconds of silence before you answer. That pause reads as control. Control buys you time, and time lets your receipts land. It's not acting. It's self-command. Expect friction from people who thrived under the old frame. You don't need to defeat them in debate. You need to outrun them with cadence. When pushback comes, answer with a 1-week test, 1 metric, and a date. If the test is blocked, ship a proof in a different lane where you control the door. Your move is progress, not permission. Guard against the slide into inconsistency, the behavior that breeds contempt. Machiavelli's list is your check. Do not look fickle, frivolous, irresolute. Hold your standards the same way every time. Price floor, scope limit, response window, and meeting length. Repeat a standard calmly, offer a smaller option if you want, and stop explaining after the second repeat. Steady rules create respect even among critics. Set 3 red flags that trigger immediate action. A partner changing terms mid-deal, a leader who keeps moving dates without reason, or a channel that starts throttling your reach. When a flag trips, shrink exposure in 24 hours, smaller scope, paid pilot, or a switch to your second path. Delay is how little problems turn big. Use asymmetric updates to control information flow. Upward, 1 result, 1 risk, 1 date. Sideways, exactly what the other person needs to deliver. Downward, the next clear step and the single number it moves. This keeps the whole team aligned without handing out your full map to every room. If you miss a date, correct in public with a smaller slice, inside 72 hours. Missed Tuesday, shipping a reduced slice Thursday. Full target moves to Monday. Corrections reset trust because they change the calendar, not just the story. Grow influence by being seen where proof matters and quiet where noise pays. Demo days, dashboards, and debriefs are worth your voice. Comment wars are not. Each week, post 1 snapshot that any busy person can understand at a glance. A before, after, and a next date. Simple spreads. When copycats appear, don't fight over credit. Shift shape, reorder features, raise the quality bar, or pull a checkpoint forward. The first mover wins attention. The faster learner keeps it. Learning speed is your edge. Anchor your courage with a better model of risk. You will never remove uncertainty. You will reduce it by testing more often with smaller bets. Keep your bets small enough to survive and big enough to matter. That's how you stay bold without being reckless. Integrate 2 more guardrails from the Florentine mind so the pivot lasts. On contempt, avoid habits that make you look weak and aimless. Posture and discipline protect you from plots more than speeches do. On flattery, invite truth from a few when asked, and then decide. This balance keeps respect intact while keeping your map accurate. Protect momentum with clean endings. Close projects with a 1-page handoff. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next. Archive threads. Revoke unneeded access, and log the lesson in 1 line. Loose ends are how old gravity drags you back. Keep a private capacity ledger. Every Friday, note 1 asset you control now that you didn't 30 days ago. A template, a trained teammate, a second supplier, a small list, a benchmark script. Capacity is quiet leverage. When rough weeks hit, capacity is what lets you keep shipping. If a powerful gatekeeper still blocks your lane, take your receipts to a different room that values them. The goal of the pivot was never to convince everyone. It was to move from talk to proof, and then to keep moving where proof buys you time. Some doors are noise, the right doors are work. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Proof on schedule, standards intact. When you step back, the shape is simple. You change the frame from talk to results. You learn to scout like a fox and act like a lion. You cut once and gave value in steps. You kept your name clean, your circle honest, and your engine your own. Machiavelli's guardrails aren't museum pieces. They are working tools. Avoid contempt by being steady. Avoid flattery by inviting truth with limits. Avoid dependence by owning your arms. Use them, and your pivot stops being a moment. It becomes your method,